Welcome to the channel. If you're new, I'm James Salvatore, and this is the 2022 Bentley Continental GT V8 Convertible. And in today's video, we're going to dive into the little things about what makes this car so special. This is a bold British sports car, and it makes no apologies nor compromises in the name of luxury. So let's get right into it. For those unfamiliar with the Continental convertible model lineup, there are two trim levels available, the GT V8 as tested today and the GT Speed with a W12 engine. The standard GT has a 4-liter twin turbocharged V8 producing 542 horsepower and 568 foot-pounds of torque mated to an 8-speed dual clutch transmission with all-wheel drive and launch control capability. It's good for 0 to 60 in just 4 seconds and has a top speed of 198 miles an hour. When it comes to handling, the Continental features an adaptive air suspension system with 3-chamber air springs and 4 adjustable ride height settings. And you can also option carbon ceramic brakes on the car if you'd like to. Let's take a minute to dive into the styling on the Continental. So, first things first, up front you see that we have these diamond cut LED matrix headlights, which honestly are some of the most unique headlight housings in the business, period. I've reviewed a lot of cars on the channel and nothing comes close to the artistic nature that these headlights have. I mean, just take a look at the detail in them. I mean, truly a work of art. You could tell they really paid close attention to detail with them. And just take a look at the front fascia, how wide it is, how commanding it is. It really just gives such a presence to this car. And if you take a look on this, we have the blacked out grille and the blacked out chrome all around, because on other cars you will see a chrome outline around the headlights and the grille and the lower splitter. They really have made this car look great from all angles, in my opinion. I mean, just take a look at the side profile of this. You have lines that just flow so gracefully to the rear end. You have one continuous line coming all the way from the front hood all the way to the rear quarter panel, and then comes out, giving this car some nice wide hips. And the rear really just does tie in so nicely with the front end. Some cars you come around the back and you're like, they forgot about it, like what is this? That's definitely not the case with the Continental. I mean, just take a look at the tail lamps. They've remained consistent with the design of the low beams in the front with that diamond cut design. I mean, it just adds such nice depth to the rear end and adds character to the car overall, in my opinion. And you can see down below we have a quad tailpipe layout, which kind of just adds to that aggressive nature of the Continental. Now let's dive into the interior and talk about the details that make a Bentley product stand out from other high-end brands that we review on the channel. Say for instance, Mercedes products or Porsche or Audi products. Those are nice cars and they're expensive too, but what makes a Bentley product really stand out from those? It's the little things. Like, say for instance, take a look at the door cards. The level of detail that's gone into the diamond cut stitching on the door. Or how about how far they even go? They've gone to the length of even having their high-grade leather line the inner parts of the door pockets, which is pretty unique. You don't see that on many other cars, if at all. And then they've even lined the leather all the way up to the window switch, which on most cars will still be plastic, even if they have their upgraded high-end interiors. And even on the door column, it's lined in leather all the way down to the sill. And getting into one of these cars should always be a special experience. Right down to the key that you're gonna have to pick up every morning if you plan on daily driving this. And you can see it's just got a nice large Bentley logo. The sides of it are machined aluminum, and it overall has a nice hefty feel, definitely very high quality. Looking at the interior overall, the high-end leather is consistent throughout the entire cabin. There is not one square inch of this cabin that isn't covered in high-grade leather, right down to the door columns, the A-pillars, the visors are all covered in high-grade leather. these are the things that separate this car from other brands. And sitting in the car, the seating position's low, as you would expect from a GT/sports car. It's very comfortable. If you're a bigger person, you'll definitely have enough space in this. And I think one of the things I like the most is how simplistic the interior really is. Nothing's too in your face, nothing's unconventional. You don't have a giant screen taking up the whole interior of the car. It's more traditional in that sense. The technology's modern, it's there, but it doesn't overpower the car, because we all know how technology ages. 10, 15 years down the road, today's infotainment system is gonna look terrible. So one of the nice things is you get this beautiful fold-away screen with the option to have just a continuous, just continuing the piano black, or you get 3 beautifully machined gauges, which just really complement the interior. And what's nice is if you hit the button on the side of the seat, you can see that you have the different massage programs for the seat. Another thing to point out is you do have wired Apple CarPlay in this car and wireless charging for your phone in the center console. And I like that they've kept things simple with the center stack here. No haptic feedback buttons here, nice traditional buttons, nicely laid out, and you have these beautifully machined dials for your driving modes. Just listen to that. Has such a nice satisfying feedback. Another nice attention to detail is you do have vents for your neck, so if you want to drive with the top down when it's cold, it'll blow hot air on your neck or cool air, whatever you choose. And the surround, I have to point out, is not done in plastic. They've actually wrapped that in leather. Other brands, like say in a Mercedes, you'll see these systems too, but the surround will be in plastic. Once again, details that separate the Bentley from other high-end products. You can see on the headrest too, you do have a nice aluminum band going around the headrest. Just the little details that make it stand out. In the rear, it's actually not that bad. I wasn't expecting to be able to fit back here, but it is good to know that if you had to take full-size adults around, you definitely could make it by for around town. Definitely not a long trip, but if you had to throw a few people in here, you could. All right, well, I'd say that pretty much sums up things for this video. Unfortunately, we couldn't do too much with the car today because it is snowing. We're in Connecticut, so we had to stay inside, but hopefully in the future, we get to take this out on the road and see how it does. But if you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell notification so you don't miss out on the next one. And before we go, I'd like to say a special thanks to my friends down at Miller Motorcars, Bentley, Greenwich, for providing the car for us here today so that we could do this video. They're an awesome, super helpful, friendly group of people to work with. And if you're in the market for a new Bentley, be sure to check them out. They also have their own YouTube channel as well, if you're curious. So I'm gonna leave a link in the description below so that you can check them out too. With that said, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next video.